an affiliate station of 5 Plus Manila. Cuando, junto con Ronnie Nieto, el discusión, Wally Sangada, todo lunes, a las 9 hasta las 10 de la tarde, y miércoles, después del Dateline Zamboanga, y cada domingo, a las 2 del tarde. Cuando, junto con Ronnie Nieto, el programa que te discutí el mga issues del semana. Cuando, junto con Ronnie Nieto. Cuando.
Buenas que viviendo de Zamboanga, bienvenidos aquí en el programa de Atonel Cuando. Siguro, hindi más este subyekto kita mangkwento kita aquí cosa nuevo, kaya aparece dentro del mundo kita mangkwento por causa de este, ¿no? El World Health Organization de más reciente declara como international emergency el coronavirus. That is exactly why in this Cuando el episode del Cuando, that is what we intend to talk about. Cosa ba kita debe saber con este clase nuevo de enfermedad que te entra ka natin este tiempo que tiene confirmado un caso na Pilipinas, cosa ba kita debe hacer y cosa ba kilaya ba kita confrontar con este clase de amenazo, no? Kaya para hindi kita sali de sobresaltado, no? If we are properly informed, then we will know what to do to confront this menace. We have with us the creme de la creme of the medical field here in the city of Zamboanga. Todos de mga top kwanta din este doktor di aton. Primero, we have with us here Dr. Norby Jalani, el field epidemiologist del Zamboanga City Medical Center. Doctora, buenas tardes contigo. Bienvenidos aquí na programa. And of course, Suki, palangga di ato nakipirmi kayo. Si Doctora Dulce Amor Miravite, our City Health Officer.
Good afternoon.
And somebody who's very close to my heart, a very good friend. He is one of the top epidemiologists of the country, I would believe, no? Especialmente on tropical infectious diseases. We have Dr. Jejuni Rivera. Doc Juni, welcome back.
I'm happy to be back.
Yeah. First of all, let's talk about what is coronavirus. Cosa ba sa klase de enfermedad and how does this infect people? We're acting on this from fear, maybe out of ignorance, but what is coronavirus? Who would like to start? Dr.
Okay, so there are many kinds of coronaviruses, but the ones that we have already experienced as infections in human coming out as epidemics are yung SARS, no? SARS is a coronavirus, and then the MERS-CoV, that's also another coronavirus, and then this novel coronavirus now. Mm-hmm. So it's a virus, which means that it's really just so much smaller than bacteria and can easily become a different species altogether at one time. You know? But so ibig sabihin pwedeng mag-mutate na tinatawag. So ngayon, there's a new virus that we have just identified, and they said that's coming from the bats, theoretically coming from the bats in China, in Wuhan, China. That's where it was discovered first.
You call it now the novel coronavirus. Yes. Obviously, it is something that is new. Is it because that people are still ignorant about what it is all about? Doctora, what makes this different from the other coronaviruses like SARS and MERS-CoV?
Well, kasi coronaviruses are a big family that usually they are naturally present among birds and bats. Now, the difference is that it originated from Wuhan. Mm-hmm. That's why it is named as Wuhan novel COVID.
So that's a new title now, Wuhan novel coronavirus.
Yes. Yeah, and it is a beta coronaviruses kasi they have like I think 4 families.
I see. Now, as of this time, per record from the Department of, or rather the World Health Organization, there's about 137 deaths already in mainland China, and about 8,000 who are already infected by this in different parts of the world. 8,000 only in mainland China, but elsewhere, nakikita natin na Pilipinas, chinikita ang primer kaso. Yes. Are we prepared to confront this kind of a disease, Dr. Dulce Mormiravite?
So, categorically no, no? No, but we have measures in place, right? In previous years, we have SARS, so that taught us a lesson on how to prepare for this. So we have avian flu and all of this stuff. So in a sense, we have prepared for it, but for the longest time, last year we had Ebola, right? So we have protocols in place. So we have protocols in place. We have agencies who are working also to prevent diseases like this from coming in. But we have to do more. We have to refine our preparations and our things that we need, the manpower and all of these things.
Yes,
I think, Ron, what Dr. Dulce is saying is that we're not prepared because the world is really not prepared, because we do not know the behavior of the virus at this time. There are very sketchy data about how the virus behaves, like the incubation period from the time that you got infected to the time that you can get sick would be around from 2 days to 6 days, but it can be up to 12 days. But then nothing is definite because we are still beginning to see the behavior of the virus in populations. So yan lang yung mga alam natin. And then although it is rapidly spreading, just like SARS and MERS-CoV, we do not know if it's going to behave exactly like SARS or MERS-CoV. MERS-CoV was very deadly because 30% of those identified to have been sick with MERS-CoV were dying. SARS was less deadly because around 12 to 17% were dying. But then this one, only less than 3% were dying from documented cases. Pero if we look at China and if we look at the behavior of people, I'm sure a lot of people are not diagnosed. No? Kasi siyempre natatakot din sila na i-quarantine or ma-stigmatize. So many would probably not come to seek medical help if the symptoms are mild. And most 80% of coronavirus, as we see it now, itong novel coronavirus, mild lang naman yung infections. So baka hindi na mag-seek na medical care. So yung 8,000 plus can really be 10,000, 15,000, we do not know. And that will bring down the case fatality rate or those dying out of those diagnosed to lower than 3%. So this is not really something that we should really be afraid of. But of course, it really makes sense for governments to be more prepared. It makes sense for health practitioners to be aware. It makes sense for people to practice good hygiene, precautionary measures.
So there are some criticisms that the preventive response of government seems to be a little late right now. Had it not been identified that one case was already present in the Philippines, Malacanang would not announce that to hold flights going to China no. So, did we respond properly to this particular incident, or medyo nakulang tayo sa response time?
My thinking is that Malacanang was probably taking cue from the WHO because they are really the world experts. And for a time, the WHO was saying no restrictions on travel because it will disrupt economies. But just like if we quarantine, just like in China when they started to quarantine Hubei, and they were quarantining. They quarantined around 60 million people. Economies are the economies there are really going down. Right now, the economy of China is really going down, and that is what WHO wants to prevent because we all operate on a booming economy. That's how it should be. But if we stop people from traveling, then a lot of businesses would be stopped. A lot of economic impacts would be felt by people. And I guess when the government is cautious in doing in these travel restrictions, they had good reason to do that. But as it turns out, baka nga late na tayo. But I was happy with the response of Subic. Diba, there was a cruise ship that went to Subic at hindi pinababa Oh, that's an intelligent local response, and all of us should respond that way.
No, initially, kwan natin, restrictions natin, yung mga thermal scanners is only concentrated sa NAIA lang at saka yung mga entry points natin, international entry points. The question is right now, people who might be infected might be asymptomatic. They might not show any signs until later on. Do you think that all entry points, all airports in the country should put into place already thermal scanners to be able to identify possible people who are already infected with the disease who have been traveling around the country? Take, for example, this woman, this 39-year-old woman, Chinese from Wuhan, traveled to Hong Kong, then traveled to Manila, and even flew to Dumaguete, and only there that she found out that she was already sick. No? So, dapat siguro ba yung mga airport natin, mga ports natin should already put into place mga thermal scanners?
It's good if our airports would be equipped with thermal scanners, but with the novel coronavirus, actually our confirmed case did not have fever.
Yes.
So yes, she has a history of travel from Wuhan, and she just had a mild cough. That's the only two things that she had, no? And she because of this, the specimen was taken, and then it turned out to be positive. So for other diseases, maybe that really presents with fever, then we can screen the passengers or those who are infected through the thermal scan. But with the novel coronavirus, it can help because some would also have fever, but there are also percentages of people who are infected that do not manifest to have fever.
No, in that particular case, she traveled from Wuhan to Hong Kong. Naturally, those in the airplane could be infected already. She traveled from Hong Kong to the Philippines. Naturally, yung mga mismo pasahero probably infected na rin. And she traveled all the way to Dumaguete. So, in the airplane, yung mga pasahero rin are probably infected. Is it right that all these passengers should be identified and be suspect for possible infection?
Yeah, we have this rules of four. So yung 4 lanes front, sa back, and then sa sides. This has to be subjected to contact tracing. Yeah. So as of now, I think the process of contact tracing is
I see. So
already ongoing.
those who are in front of the passenger and those who are in the back of the passenger,
4 rows front, 4 rows back.
they are automatically suspect.
Yes,
No,
four
yes,
sideways, yeah.
yes.
I see. So that's the protocol. No, we have been asking this question the other day. No? Kasi kahit yung mila-mila nga, yung sore eyes, an airline can refuse your entry into the plane if you have a pink eye, di ba? Eh kung yung pasahero sa ticketing booth pa lang, may symptoms na coughing profusely and he looks red-eyed and probably with fever, should our travel protocols allow airlines to refuse entry of passengers who are showing early signs of being sick?
It's business rules, so they will not refuse.
But they have been refusing passengers with pink eye, no?
Yes, because that has been established already. But as far as the novel coronavirus, we're not yet very sure. So I don't know what the response of the airlines are. They're losing a lot now because a lot of canceled flights have caused the losses to their income already. So I don't know how they're going to respond. But I think logically, if somebody has cough and has fever and there's a travel history or there's exposure, then that person should be reported to the Bureau of Quarantine or to the DOH or to the City Health Office.
I was telling the story here sa teleradyo namin na yung programa. I was on a plane the other day and there was somebody there who was coughing. Parang yung bopes niya, gusto mo lang sa bunganga. My goodness, did the airline stop this guy from riding the plane?
At the time when he bought the ticket, he was probably not coughing, or probably when he's falling in line, baka may asthma lang yun, Ron.
Or baka dusty lang.
Sabi nila, if you are Chinese looking,
Mag-allergic
sabi nila, if you are Chinese looking, do not cough or sneeze, ha? Baka pagdududa ka ka ng galing mo sa
Just
buhay.
like Dr. Junior.
It's just from the time na lang, hindi Chinese looking. But really, quite honestly, I mean, should the option be given to the airline to refuse providing?
They should be given the protocol also to screen patients. But I don't know if they have the human resources to do that, to screen patients when patients come in. But probably the cough and the fever, siguro during the time of entry to the airport, cough or fever, lahat the patients is screened.
Yeah, what about you doctors? I mean, how would you look at it if we are to prevent? Because I'd rather refuse one passenger than in fact infect the entire city with somebody who's sick, di ba? So if you ask me, it would be safer to refuse one passenger than to sacrifice the entire city from getting sick. So, Dr.
For me,
Jelani.
for us na matumbok natin kung anong hinahanap natin, the case definition must be broad. That's the standard protocol for that. So everyone that manifests fever, pneumonia like symptoms, this has to be checked. Yun.
Mahirap kasi, Rob, kasi di ba, ang dami-daming pwedeng mag-cause ng fever and respiratory symptoms. So, we have coronavirus, influenza virus, ang dami-dami yan, no? Maraming coronaviruses, maraming influenza viruses, respiratory syncytial virus, metapneumovirus, ang dami pang iba. So, and many circulating viruses pa na respiratory yung symptoms, adenovirus, gano'n, pwedeng mag-manifest the same way. I think what really defines here would be yung exposure to a known case or travel to China in the last 14 days. Yun yung define.
I see.
Pero kung ako sasakay ng aeroplano and I know I have a likely exposure at kailangan ko sumakay, sasabihin ko, ay wala. May asthma ako.
Fever.
You know, I was in the plane the other day. That point that I wanted to give him my panito na.
Fever, cough, shortness of breathing, and then with an ongoing pandemic.
Oo. Wala
Yun na yun eh. Yun na yun.
Pero there are things we can do to limit the transmission and exposure. So, pag uubo daw tayo, ganito daw. We cover our mouth and nose with our flexed elbow. Ganon. Haching, uubo, ganon. Para daw hindi yung kamay ang ma-effect. And then, should we...
Pero si Dracula tayo.
And then if we have to cover our mouth with a paper towel or tissue, uubo ka doon, and then you throw it away, and then immediately use
Or sanitizer.
use sanitizer. They're recommending 70% either ethyl or isopropyl alcohol, but some experts would say ethyl alcohol daw na 70%. Pwede ka nun. Pero kung may dumi ka nakikita sa kamay mo, then you have to wash your hands with soap and water.
Yeah. Dr. Dulce Amor Mirabete, our City Health Officer, you were in a meeting just today with our City Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office. Ano po yung result of that meeting and what preparations are we undertaking at this point in time to prevent this disease that has been identified now in the country from reaching Zamboanga?
Actually, even before the news that we had a positive confirmed case in the Philippines, we conducted a series of meeting with our stakeholders and other agencies, government agencies, that has a role in preventing the disease from coming in the city, no? So we have basically our goal is to, if we have a case, how we're going to treat the case and how we're going to contain, no? So that's basically our goal.
I see. To use a mask or not to use a mask? Ano ba po ang dapat natin gawin? Kasi Dr. Duque, Secretary Duque was suggesting that we prevent ourselves from getting sick by using masks. And all of a sudden, former Secretary Garin, who's now chairman of the Committee on Health in Congress, is saying, using the mask won't help you at all. So, but there seems to be mixed signals about the use of mask. Ano ba talaga po? The word is, ano ba talaga po yan?
Dr. Garin is right because the WHO says the mask alone cannot prevent you from getting infected with the coronavirus.
But it can be a barrier.
You need to be able to wash your hands and with alcohol
Mask
or,
and
you know, both should be done properly together. But then what Dr. Duque is saying is, if we have a lot of people getting sick with respiratory infections, then the health sector will be slumped with a lot of cases. For example, sa City Health Office, pumunta doon lahat na may lagnat. Mapapagod yung mga health workers. We don't have so many health workers. Tapos, di ba, lahat magiging suspect yan for Wuhan. So, it's going to be very taxing for the health system. That is why I agree with Dr. Duque. We prevent ourselves from getting sick. If wearing masks will help us acquire other respiratory infections. Kasi proven din yung mask that can prevent other respiratory infections, no? Apart from
Lalo na yung droplet, or
lalo na yung airborne, tsaka droplet infections, pwedeng ma-prevent ng mask. So yeah, there's wisdom to that.
Yeah.
So I agree with
This situation about masks almost became very funny kasi one texter sa programa namin even said, well, Dr. Garin's credibility is in question with the thing vaccine thing, so we were believing Dr. Duque. I don't know, but that was just reaction from people. But you're saying that there is no assurance that the mask will protect you, but it can help those who are already infected from spreading out the disease to others.
Yes, that is one. And then it also helps others from getting infected with other respiratory infections. And we don't want the health sector to be burdened by, these respiratory infections at this time that we're facing an issue. Itong coronavirus na hindi pa natin masyadong kilala.
I see. Dr. Mirabete, awa pa lang daw, mga N95 mask mo yung daw kinasudat sa Buanga, mask L surgical mask, lo ganin mo mga hospital ang difícil ya kay no yung madot bende surgical mask sa tiempo. Even health workers are finding it difficult to have surgical mask. Pero what is disturbing is that we are finding out that some pharmacists are hoarding some of these masks. Can the Bureau of Food and Drug Administration, what sila ba dapat come in to check whether we have people who are hoarding some of these materials?
Sino? So, I think it's human nature to be panicked and do panic buying, no? Kay todo gani kere usa mask and sina. So, we have some reports na taabla el otro no ay masagani stock, no? And el otro cheme pa because other pharmacies do not have, and they're the only ones who have, they have increased their price. So, the with regard to the price, and man can mandate yaton, but we can facilitate and ask DTI to help us out, bring down the prices of the mask gani. Pero supply and demand, no?
But should it come to a point that government should come in to distribute masks to the public?
Pwede, no? Actually, our city, the CDRMO, we are already, actually, we have already procured, pero naipalangani ka natin legal goods. So we have procured mask, the surgical mask and N95 and other things that we need in preparation if ever we're going to have a case here in the city. But also for prevention, no? So we can, if may masyadad kita supply and the city has supply, then if there's a need to give it out, we will be doing that.
We are very happy, Ron, yung sa private health sector. We are very happy with the City Health Office because they have quick responses to the needs of the health workers in the City Health Office. Like for example, they freely give sa private sector yung City Health Office give influenza vaccine for health workers in the private sector, no? Kaya nabakunahan yung mga private healthcare providers. That is very important kasi pag kunyari, they are protected from getting sick from influenza. So one down na yun, no? Na hindi na sila mag-ubo-ubo. Hindi na natin iisipin yun in our diagnosis with them. But then, we prioritize kasi who should be wearing masks, and these are the health workers.
Healthcare workers, and then yung mga patients na symptomatic. Yun, mga immunosuppressed. But if you are healthy, wala kayong nararamdaman, I think the risk is still very low. Ang importante pa rin talaga is healthy lifestyle, hand washing.
Hand washing.
Who are at risk to be infected with coronavirus, doctors? Sino ba ang mas vulnerable sa itong coronavirus na nCoV na to?
That has not been defined kasi i-evolve pa itong sakit na ito. But then among those, merong sa mga may namatay, yun yung merong mga comorbidities daw. It's not been clearly defined kasi hindi pa siya naaral talaga. No? In fact, WHO has not come into China to really
analyze things.
Analyze things. Wala pa. All the data are coming from the
Meron siya.
Chinese authorities.
Yung
kunti pa lang.
first batches of nCoV cases from Wuhan, mostly were males, 71%.
59 years old.
The youngest is 2 years old. The oldest is 70, I think, but it does not say that
What's
there
the
is an
age?
age and sex predilection, no.
No age preference.
Yes,
on this.
yes. All are at risk.
I see. Are we getting enough cooperation from the Chinese government to give us more information so that our epidemiologists in this country can more or less do some research? And I understand that the Filipino epidemiologist is now working on a possible vaccine for the nCoV. So, are we getting enough cooperation from the Chinese government? At this point in time.
We will ask Xi Jinping. Wait, can we call?
You know, there's a lot of conspiracy theory that are coming out right now with all these new diseases, and the more people let their imagination work, the more interesting stories come out.
Right.
Ano ba to? Kaysa there's even some stories that this is a biological weapon that has gone haywire in the testing Cuando in one of the laboratories in Wuhan.
Yeah, maybe they got that idea because Wuhan is known for.
University daw ito.
Yeah, they have this high-tech laboratory, the only lab in China that is capable to work with pathogenic microbes and possibly, can be, some forms of bioweapons. But these are just
These are the theories.
rumors, theories, yes. And then some said, another theory that sometime after the big quake, this virus leaked.
There's another theory that's coming out. I don't know how if there is any credibility to this. That somebody is trying to develop a new kind of flu that is easily maintainable because of the economics that goes along with the buying of medicines. But if it's gone, this experiment is done haywire. Is that a possibility?
Well, everything is possible because during the early stages of this pandemic, the pattern of a typical biological weapon is really evident. Clustering and
Really?
That's typical biological weapon.
That's part of military science. Common sa mga
So that intelligence report that came from the Israeli government seems to have some credibility then.
May can never tell.
But there are really diseases that will cause clustering.
Yes.
Because it can be
Naturally.
transmitted. It can be transmitted through close contact. So if you have a group of military if there's a military installation, you can easily drop the biological weapon there and infect most of these people there who are vulnerable. And but this has been observed in several diseases, no? Like anthrax, mga ganon. Okay, so that has been observed. Natural, they did not create that. That talagang na-observe na siya na gano'n, kaya pwedeng gamitin na biological weapon. And that has been defined as a biological weapon nga because of the characteristics of the transmission of the organism or the disease. No? Kaya we do not know about the theory if it's true or not, but these are also rumors. But what is more important now for all of us to realize is that, number one, the transmission of coronavirus seems to be weak in countries like ours kasi hindi tayo malamig. Okay? So yung iba yung SARS at MERS-CoV. Ang sabi nga nila, yung na-infect dati sa SARS na health worker dahil masyadong malamig yung health facility kung saan na-admit yung patient nila, yung index case.
You know, it's a good thing you're mentioning that. Some people were looking at the areas infected by this particular disease. Most of them happen to be in cold countries, like you said.
Yes.
And I was surprised that India is very near China, and you only have one particular case reported in India at Chinese traveler ba to?
So may mga ganong mga characteristics din yung mga diseases. So baka hindi siya masyadong transmit dito sa atin. Pangalawa, so far, we do not see that the virus is really sustained in terms of transmission. So far, ang naaral yata nila parang from an index case na papasa, ito napapasa sa another, parang 4 generations so parang ganon. Pero hanggang ganon lang yata yung kanyang capacity to be transmitted. And then it dies naturally.
You were telling Dr. Jelani that the common flu is even more dangerous than this coronavirus.
Yeah, because
how true is this?
If we try to review the data, each day kasi may at least 800 to 1,000 cases na namamatay because of seasonal flu complications. So if we compare it to the case fatality rate of nCoV, which is 3%, so that is for every 100 cases, we have 3 deaths. So I think mas matakot tayo sa complication ng seasonal flu.
I see. So
that's the data.
Are you saying it's media who has overbloated this case?
Bago kasi, alam mo na pagbago, talaga yan. And ang tingin ko, show of force ito of China na, only China, I guess, can really quarantine 60 million people at one time. No country can ever do that, I guess.
However, what we know about the nCoV is still evolving. That is the mere, I think that is the very reason why medyo conservative ang DOH and WHO during the previous weeks. Hindi nila elevate na p-hike ito kasi nga the virus profile and its nature and its infectivity is not complete that time. Pero ngayon, since determine na, and then there is an ongoing vaccine, sa Australia. So, it's a good thing. So,
yeah. Dr. Miravite, we have identified 2 hospitals here in Zamboanga to receive possible nCoV virus patients. That's Zamboanga City Medical Center and the Sanitarium Mandesan, di ba? So the question is, are these 2 hospitals properly prepared to receive nCoV patients, Doctora? Tiene ba bastante facilidad? Are the personnel properly trained already to more or less confront or give the proper interventions to anybody who
So the Department of Health regularly trains people on how to handle infectious diseases, including diseases caused by viruses that's really like with the characteristic na ansin ano tapade to kunele contagioso. In terms of the facility, since ideally, it's Zamboanga City Medical Center who's going to really be the referral hospital. But we did not expect this to happen at this time. So the facility, you can add later some more. No, the facility wherein the isolation was housed before is under construction
Yes.
at present.
Exactly.
Okay, so although they have isolation rooms, but it can only house about three persons,
I
right?
see. Now you're talking about the only way by which you confront this, the intervention that we only have right now is containment, quarantine lang,
Yes.
to prevent it from spreading out to other patients. As it is, you're only saying we only have enough for three, but this disease is increasing exponentially. In China, I think in a couple of days' time, it has already doubled exponentially or tripled exponentially infection.
So that is why we also identified some other hospitals or some other places wherein we can contain if ever we have a case. And the other facility is Mindanao Central Sanitarium. But we also have to equip because at the outset, that's not built to be an isolation facility, right? So we have to equip and prepare the facility, although it's already there. So we have to all our medical equipment, manpower, and how the other things that has to be in place. So even before when news that there's this virus going on now in China, so we have already sat down and discussed things.
Yeah.
So
We are a major entry point for the Bimpiyaga area. We have people coming from Malaysia, which is one of the big countries that is gravely affected by this disease. I think the numbers in Malaysia has really increased exponentially, and Indonesia the same thing also. So I am surprised that sa mga entry points natin, wala pa daw yung thermal scanners at this point in time. We do have them, but we cannot even put them in place because it needs a certain temperature, actually, to be contained in a certain temperature, so to be able to identify patients who are sick. What is being done to hasten on this?
yeah, we actually have the thermal scanner. Bureau of Quarantine have the thermal scanner, but the environments of our ports are not conducive to house these thermal scanners. So if we just put it there without the proper environment for it, it will get.
It's not going to work.
Yeah, it's not
It
going.
has to be in a controlled environment.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm a little surprised because when we had SARS, the use of thermal scanners was supposed to be already in place. When we had the MERS-CoV, it was supposed to be also in place. How is it that we're not just starting from we're starting from this is something new again? No?
The requirement for the airport, I guess, Ron, is that it has to be air conditioned with controlled temperature.
Yeah.
It's for the thermal scanners to work. Otherwise, it will detect the heat outside.
Can this not be an emergency purchase on the part of government?
I do not know.
No, actually, we have the thermal scanners already. So we will just have to improve the environment of our ports so that we will be able to install the scanners.
I see. So whose gastos will this be, CARAP or DOH?
So since this is
National agency.
yes, so actually during the meeting also this has been raised and already addressed. So it procurements of things and improvements of the facility will be hastened so that the thermal scanners will be already installed
Yes.
Yeah.
as soon as possible.
You know, Ron, in fact, Zamboanga City has already gone through several management of itong epidemics no na nagte-threaten sa country and the city particularly. And we are lucky that Dr. Norby here was with the DOH during those times, and she was the one who put in place yung measures how to contain these infections in coordination with WHO and the
Other
DOH.
agencies.
So she has the most experience in terms of
Management and
itong mga
handling of
epidemics.
cases like this.
That's a long time ago.
That's really her training. So, and they are, they are best friends. And so, I'm not worried about the situation. The situation can easily be managed. So,
Can
it
always-
is now for the DOH to tap this resource, really just work together, collaborate together to put things in place.
I see, but even DOH is coming up with two different stories all at one time. Sometimes we don't even know. At one time, they say, they make an announcement, and the next day, they say, oh, don't panic because this is not true. So, ano ba talaga?
Yeah,
Oo.
that's the importance of having
Yeah.
someone who will do risk communication.
Yeah. It's very important that you only have one conductor in the orchestra.
Yes. There was a time when there was a specific case here. There was a specific case of, actually, it was a case of malaria na nanggaling sa Congo. So may bleeding, may abdominal pain, nagka-diarrhea, and then na-intubate, na-admit in one of our hospitals. And then the infectious disease who saw it knew that the case was coming from Congo at the time na maraming Ebola sa Africa.
Mhm.
So hindi siya sure kung meron bang Ebola sa Congo at the time. But alam niya na the worst epidemic of Ebola happened in Congo sometime in 2014.
Yes.
And knowing that hindi maganda yung surveillance systems ng Africa, he called DOH and the City Health Office to help so that the case can be contained, because if it were Ebola and he let loose Ebola here in Zamboanga City, we could not manage that. So automatically, Dr. Dulce was there, CHO was there, DOH were there, but then we were able to thresh out a lot of problems there with our preparedness. So parang naging test case yun, no?
I see.
How do we contain the case? Where do we put the case? Paano natin ilalagay itong case na ito? But then the responses are there, the people are ready to be there. Kaya lang, kulang tayo ng yung tinatawag na personal protective equipment. No? Kasi
Yan nga, I was going to ask about that. No?
parang astronaut. No? And for one case, we have identified, no, for one case, there should be at least 24 PPEs per day kasi disposable to lahat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
24 sets of PPEs per case per day.
Yeah, you're talking about the biosuits, no?
Oo, yung gano'n. So, ibig sabihin, if we have 24 times 3 times how many days, dapat yun. If we have 10, 24 times 3 times the number of days na kailangan. So far, parang I do not know if DOH is prepared, if they have purchased.
Yes, and during our time there, we see to it that every hospitals, both public and private, have suits, have masks,
Have the
have
biosuits.
PPEs, the training, and then usually we do risk assessment and pandemic preparedness every 6 months
Yeah.
kapag sa mga hospitals. It's a part po ng parang
Pero mahal
preparedness.
talaga yun. This is really very expensive.
Yeah. oo.
I was in the United States as a nurse when the AIDS epidemic started.
Yes.
And I remember we were made to suit up like spacemen,
Astronauts.
as astronauts to confront this particular menace. No? So, only to find out later na hindi naman pala hindi pala kailangan yun. But are we pushing the panic button at this point in time? Or is it better just to be extra prepared, so to speak?
Well, ethically speaking, being panicky kasi, let's face it, it can protect us.
Mhm.
No? However, mas maganda pa rin na informed tayo.
Yes. Right now, Ron, kasi we do not exactly know how it is being transmitted. That is why governments and health agencies would like to err on the side of caution always. So kung kailangan natin ng astronaut suit to protect our health workers and protect people outside, di ba? Pati yung families ng health workers, we need to be able to do that. So, we do not know how we can protect ourselves. So, dapat astronaut. So,
Yeah.
pero yung Ebola, defined yun eh. Kailangan talaga astronaut talaga yun.
Yung mga hospitals natin dito, Doktora, si Dr. Mirabete is here, no? Do they follow strict protocols in the disposition of hazardous waste? Because we were concerned about some hazardous waste being thrown in Salaan. And it might be a source of infection, the spread of infection din, di ba?
Actually, that's mostly part of the Department of Health for licensing.
Yes.
No?
It's a requirement.
Yes,
na may
that's
plan.
that's more of their role. But as
Are you not supposed to incinerate infectious waste, Doktora? Di ba?
we have a law of
Clean Air
yeah, Clean Air Act, so that's not allowed already. So
Well, I'm coming from a scenario in the 90s when I was...
yeah,
I was
but
wrong.
the local government has already allotted budget for purchase of the medical waste facility, and we are. I personally am glad, no, that the local government allotted budget for it, and hopefully this year or next year we will be able to have the facility already in the city. And
What about our private hospitals? Do they meet the standards, Doktora?
actually that's one of their clamor, because they have septic vaults and stuff, but syempre with the number of patients that the hospital has, and the septic vault not that much, with the septic vault with not that much area, so una to lang ta liena, no? So por eso they are clamoring that if we can have another way on how we can dispose of our waste, medical waste gani, so mas bonito. So, pero Sir Ron, in fairness to all our hospitals, because it is part of our licensed, no, hindi kanila dahil license to operate CL, di aton Department of Health, so tan follow namin kita. And ako na di aton PPE, in fairness to our hospitals, because we were able to sit down with them, no, the DOH retained hospital and also our private hospital partners, they have PPEs in place, and Department of Health has also given the DOH retained hospitals and even the LGU, no, given us the PPEs. But with this event, we are purchasing more, so that if in case, at least we have some on
Shared
on hand.
resources.
Yes.
No, kung sa sitwasyon, Doktora, at this point in time, we are getting a lot of new diseases that are affecting our communities. I know that this is an advocacy of Dr. Jejuni Rivera here, but I'll ask this question. Is it not proper for us at this point in time to allocate funds so that we will, each barangay, our 98 barangays should have their own designated doctor who can get to know the community and be able to, really diagnose the residents in the community itself?
Yeah, so maybe with the universal healthcare in place and
That's the
signed
direction.
already, yeah. So we are going towards that direction, because without that law, it would be really the budgetary allocation for additional manpower and plantilla for doctors will be, because we are following DBM guidelines. So it's just not easy for us to say that I need additional 50 doctors, because right now we're only 24. 24
You're
doctors
still undermanned.
yes,
For
24 doctors for 98 barangays with almost 1 million population, right? So that's why we need our private partners to help us out, see our patients also. But with the advent of the universal healthcare law, we are geared towards that direction. And hopefully,
Hopefully, it will
that
happen.
yes, the day will come that all of our barangays will have their own doctors, and
Hopefully.
yeah.
Yeah. No, pwede ba, Doktor? We have a very efficient medical school here in Zamboanga.
And there's one coming up on Western Mindanao State
Yes, and
University.
there's another one coming up. Is it not possible for el mga kwali, mga nuevo doktor di aton, the city itself offering scholarships for those for as long as they would their first few years should be in the service of local government sa mga barangay di aton? Can we come up with that mechanism?
In fact, the medical school is imposing that to their scholars. The medical school of Ateneo de Zamboanga is a very socially accountable medical school. The scholars are required to stay in Western Mindanao
Who says a
for at
scholar?
least 4 years.
You are a scholar.
So that they can serve. So all of us, we're scholars. We stayed in the community for at least 4 years before doing many other things. And
Yes.
and
You were trained in community medicine.
we're trained in community medicine. I mean, real community medicine because we stay in the community for 2 years.
And you get to know.
No medical school elsewhere in the world or here in the Philippines send their students for 2 years in the community. And we're not really just talking about 2 months for 2 years. We're talking about the
Immersion.
24 months, the 20 to 24 months being in the community.
I see. Okay, this would really solve the problem of congestion in our hospitals. Si Dr. Akir is serving in the Zamboanga City Medical Center. I don't need to tell her how crowded Zamboanga City Medical Center is.
Temporary lang naman po yan, sir. Temporary pa lang. Soon, it will be great again. I am always positive.
So I think the best strategy is to put the doctors in the communities so that patients don't have to go to the hospital anymore. They can be
Actually,
treated.
sir, that's a part of our training program. Yung can mga kan graduate, mga residente, after graduation sa residency program, they will be assigned to communities of choice like Basilan, basta GIDA.
Kung lang si Tabien, kasi kung por ejemplo, you're assigned to an island barangay, at least there can bastante suporta para con el doctor.
Yes. Oo.
So anyway, ya que tuve de Zamboanga, el cuestión se ahora si preparado para la ciudad, pero what can the community do? If cosa ba mga interventions that we can adopt in every barangay if we have possibility of ENCO virus na mga komunidad yaton. Cosa pa debe el mga opisyales de barangay? Doktora, contigo ka kite mas delicate question. What should barangay officials do to prepare themselves for a possibility of an outbreak in their communities?
Siguro our people in our barangay should be vigilant. And those that are, this is more of a self-assessment kanya, no? If you have, especially if you have history of travel from China or exposure from those who are infected or those countries with confirmed cases, no? So ito mismo ba, sabi to, tan monitor ya to, tan ano ya to, tan home quarantine ya to, ang sina, no? And then, tamira ya to, on to pwede anda, or kung kan to pwede lama, if ever dyan na to mga symptoms, malo to tasinti. For our barangay officials, we have to know our community, na? So si dyan kita mga besita, otro, taanda aki, sabi kita, estanghero, na di atong lugar, no? So ta pwede tamin kita man monitor, para sabi kita, if ever dyan na kaso, aki na uno parte del di aton barangay, aware kita, and we have to be informed with the right information, no? Spreading fake news or akaltan share kita mga unvalidated unverified mga stories will not help us in preventing the infection from happening. So, akalan siguro, no? We have to be vigilant and we have to be informed well.
Do we have a hotline by which, si como por ejemplo, yo kasuspecha yo que tiene esta clase de enfermedad, do we have a hotline wherein I can call para poder dar ayuda conmigo también si suspecha yo que tiene el nCoV enfermedad.
Yes, we have a hotline and this is open for 24/7. Like, wait, I'll just look for it.
Bien importante, no? I hope that you have your pens with you and your notebook and jot this down because this is very important. Put this on your refrigerator para en tal caso que tiene na pamilya que tadala nila el símptoma, especialmente si viajan de na China, no? O na Malaysia o na otros mga lugar. The doctora, yes.
So our hotline number is 955-9601.
955
9601.
So 062.
955-9601.
Yes.
I see. So, este es el número que debe tener llamar, ¿no? What information is necessary when they call this number? Kasi sila information que debe preparar.
So basically, chene kita akil na di aton decision tool gani, no? Akil kita ta pregunta. Este 4, si chene kita, no? Ese gani travel history to or from Hubei province, China, especialmente within the past 14 days or within the past 2 weeks, or history of exposure to close contact or confirmed cases of nCoV, and visited a health facility in a country where there has been reported cases of our novel coronavirus, respiratory symptoms, no, chene cough or colds, and fever, si chene gane 3 or more, de este mga akito, no? So, pwede chene risk. That's why if you want more information, if you want to find out where you can be consulted, or you want to have sample specimen taken and sinano, so we can facilitate that. And that's the hotline to call.
I see. Tiene mga gente que tiene miedo si habla te enfermo yo baka man-quarantine conmigo que yo isolated ko yung entero mundo. No? So, what advice can you give people to voluntarily submit themselves for possible quarantine?
So siguro they have to think of their families and loved ones, because if they do not give this information honestly and they are living at home very exposed to their family and friends without even the proper advice, so hindi lang el cuerpo di hila. So I think it's selfish, no? Only thinking of yourself and not taking into consideration the risk. Dito the risk, eto mismo taliba con el enfermedad, no? Talito na dito yung mga pamilya, talito dito yung anak, na dito parents or dito brothers and sisters. So I think necesita kita kel
Just being responsible.
yes,
for,
no? So
for
si
others.
amo gani kel este 4, especially si eto mismo, sabi to very high risk if you have travel in history of travel from China or those countries with confirmed cases. So, pareso ganit abla kita, man home quarantine ya to, as much as possible, man isolate to, no? Especialmente si China to ko sa tasinting.
Would you advise people from not traveling to any other country where it is identified kitchen kaso?
Right now, yes. Yes.
Avoid non-essential
Si hindi
travel.
man datle, yeah. Si hindi importante, pwede
Sayang
espera.
tumitikit. Well, una cosa, no? Please write this down. El emergency number that you should have in case you are infected is 955-9601. Hopefully, the other person on the other end of the line is properly trained naman to answer or ask the right questions to the pasyente. Because hindi ito alang-alang dala yung informasyon. No? Just like even people with or who get sick, they try to, ay, no hay ganun razón para darse que te enfermo porque mo tienen sin síntoma. No? So, the person who should be interviewing the possible patient should be properly trained también. So, importante si kayo bibigyan ng sambuadas. Pagkatas mo yung mga barangay, escribite numero 955-9601. Very important, no? this is the hotline number for ENCO. No, so,
Yes, but please do not do prank calls sa
Yes.
kawawa naman yung
Yes.
sasagot.
Oh.
Tapos matataranta yung mga healthcare workers sa halip na alagaan natin yung totoong may mga sakit.
Yes.
We will be panicking about your concerns na hindi naman pala totoo.
maawa naman
Please
kayo kay
don't do
Dr.
that.
Maawa naman kayo kay Dr. Jujuni Liberta. Kaya siya, COVID sa datulian lang, pero ako ng mga emergency, ha?
Some would-be patients can also call the hospital and then inform them in advance that they will be coming and that they have these histories so that the hospital can prepare.
Are the hospitals properly trained to identify whether it's nCoV now at this point in time?
Actually, we have met with the DOH Retained Hospital and also our private hospital. So we have discussed how important is triaging, how important is history taking, so that we will be able to contain if ever it expose our other patients who are waiting at our outpatient department of our ER. So we have taken that up, but we will hold more meetings the coming days so that we will really be able to fine-tune pa, no, LD aton mga mechanism in our
Now,
hospital.
I understand, Doctora, that members of the military, Task Force Zamboanga in particular, and even our police have been alerted already to possibly assist the Department of Health in controlling communities that are identified with cases of nCoV. Does this mean that there's a possibility that you might quarantine an entire community, si Dodecine outbreak?
Yes.
Pwede, if
Pwede.
necessita. No? Si
Kasi
necessita kita man
if we
contain.
have resistant
People.
yes, so kasi we have experienced like during H1N1, like 2 families. So we ask the help of the
The
local
Yeah.
police to
And the autoridad ba naman na police, are they equipped with biosuits also?
They will be given if they will be given actually they are part of our team, no? So that they are also oriented in case na chene kita mga unruly mga
Resistant,
pasyente,
yeah.
resistant and
But of course, I would like to think that our communities will be conscientious enough that if they went to China and then they come home with symptoms in the last 14 days, then they will cooperate with the health authorities so that they will not infect their family members or their neighbors.
Risk
And then they will
communication.
be treated well. No?
Yeah,
Should
well, I understand
be
that-
treated well.
Yeah, there are only 2 Chinese schools in Manila that closed down because they had some students sent to Wuhan, China, who were possibly carriers.
Yes, I just would like to share also, Ron, yung aming experience with Ebola when we tried to contain it. We did not have a case of Ebola, but we had a suspected case of Ebola. When we contained kasi ang daming mga family members, no? Like there were 17 to 24 people there, and the patient was there in a private hospital. And Dr. Dulce Marambita said, please send us the bill, please feed all of them. Pakainin mo sila, i-quarantine natin sila, pakainin mo sila lahat, bigyan sila ng room, and just send us the bill. And she paid. So that's how ready the City Health Office in terms of responding appropriately. So ibig sabihin na kung ika-quarantine sila, pakakainin sila, they will be placed in a good place, very humanely.
Yeah.
Hindi sila ikukulong, no? Hindi kulong yun. That's really taking care of their health in
I
the
see.
hospital facility.
Yeah, because Ghana that is an antigua como na 15th century, when you're identified to be sick, you're placed in a and then you're forgotten by the entire community. Ano? Right now, when you contain a situation, you take care of those who are contained. Look, Doctora, I know that you're in close contact with the mayor who's right now in the United States. Any special instruction given by the mayor with regards to confronting this emergency?
Actually, she wants to be updated daily, no? Aman dali ase kanaton todo esfuerzo pwede kita ase so that we will be able to prevent a case from getting into our city, no? And si Takiagani, pwede kita ko niliman konting preparaw kita. So, por eso, el cosa na necesita kita, she's always asking, what else do we need? Do we have enough masks, enough PPEs, no? And other things that we really have to put into procurement para if in case, Takia, no? Ready kita, tiyan na kita sa mga kosa-kosa. So, she's very supportive and she's proactive regarding this so that we will be able to prevent or not contain if ever we have a
Si
case.
Dr. Norby Jalani was about to say something. Kasi kailangan ito kailangan.
Yeah, going back, I just want to add to what Dr. Jejun had said. Importante din po kasi na dapat if we have PUIs, yung stigma ba, sana hindi sila ma-stigmatize ng mga kapitbahay, na kesyo ganito.
Tama po yan.
Yun.
We will not announce it. We will not announce it to the world because there is a Data Privacy Act. We will not announce it to the world.
It is policy.
Yes. So we will not announce it to the world. It will be kept in strict confidence.
Anzi, pati hindi man taman debe diskrimina kita siyempre, mo debe kita ayuda.
Although we cannot avoid, sir, talaga kasi sometimes yung pag-gather natin ng mga PUI sa community kasi it's done in broad daylight. And then kung may kasama pang mga forces, men in uniform, so malaman lang mga kababayan, ay si Kwan, ganun. Oo. So, minsan parang yun ang reason, ayaw na nilang umalis. Oo. So, that's one thing that we have to
Well, that kind of a situation is already happening in China.
Yes.
The stigma. We've had reported cases na that taxi drivers let his passenger get down from the vehicle when they noticed that he was stopping. He was asking to be brought to the hospital. No? So this happened in China. So I don't know how people will react, but hindi debiansi na. Kapag ka na ayuda ka na papaliban ng pita.
So, we made it the next time sa gabi. Yung medyo tulog-tulog at 10 p.m. yun na. Sneaky. But you see, this happens talaga in the field.
There should be some discretion naman in the
Yes.
way the situation is handled in the community.
And we never sleep.
I just hope that we don't get to the point that we will have to quarantine an entire community, no? Because this is already happening in China.
I think
That's a reality.
during
no?
SARS,
Yes.
the whole municipality was quarantined.
SARS.
Yes.
So, sa kailan kayo bumibigay sa Buanga, we'll ask mga ultimo appeal namin ng mga doktor diyato. Specifically tayo kung Dr. Norby Jalani, your appeal to the people of Zamboanga.
Yeah, huwag po tayo mag-panic. Be informed because information is power. If you wish to use mask, be sure hand washing. Okay?
Okay. Si Dr. Dulce Amuan Mirabite.
So we ask people to be vigilant and the Atungani practice our preventive measures, regular hand washing, cover our cough and colds, no? So si Chenikita, cover, and then healthy lifestyle.
Sila de kalma tanda ka natin siguro kami kahit hindi makakita mang panic mas, no? Hindi kayo kumisa, don't panic! Doctor, your turn now.
Trust these two ladies here because they know what they're doing. They have been there quite a while. They have gone through several situations like this and they have controlled the situation. So far, yung Zamboanga talaga has never suffered any epidemic like H1N1, SARS, MERS-CoV. And I'm sure this milder 2019 nCoV is going to be easy for these two ladies here to contain. We just have to cooperate with DOH and the City Health Office and trust that our local government as well as the national government is here to help, and the private sector is always also there to cooperate with our health authorities. So we also recognize the role of the media to inform people properly and not to make them panic. So we
Correct.
thank you
Tama po
for
yan,
having us
ha?
here.
Stop making announcements kay Chinyaki ENCOB na Sambuanga, makinoy pati din. O din kami muna sabi ko sa ENCOB. I myself, I don't know what ENCOB is. I don't, even some doctors are still ignorant about this. So you don't know how to identify it. Don't make any announcements unless you're sure.
Yes,
no?
yes.
Unless it comes from the official authorities.
So we thank you, we thank you for inviting us. We thank Ma'am Lolita and Mr. Eddie Chu for having us here to inform the public properly.
Okay. So with that, we'd like to thank our very active and very importante mga persona na medical profession. We'd like to thank Dr. Norby Chalani, our field epidemiologist of the Zamboanga City Medical Center, our very efficient City Medical Officer, Dr. Dulce Amor Mirabite, and my very good friend and my savior, un bien reconocido epidemiologist again in tropical infectious diseases and expertise with you, Dr. Jejuni Rivera. So with that, kayo dumiyata sa Zamboanga, akilang natin sa programa del Cuando. Hasta na siguiente, Cuando. Desde el servidor, Ronnie Yedo, muchas gracias. Bye-bye.
Quench your thirst this February with Dunkin' Twin Cup for only $109 each with a choice of 2 iced beverages, your favorite icy coolers with new flavors, icy pink lychee and icy cucumber lemonade. This promo is available on February 1 till 29, 2020. You can also get a Twin Cup for only 35 pesos with any Dunkin' purchase. Dunkin' Twin Cup brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. Basta na Bayan.
The magic of radio. Here we go. This is the epicenter of music entertainment.
From the northern to the southern tip of the Philippines.
Giving you the most complete radio experience.
Testing the competition is the country's number one. Number one for new music.
The world famous.
We are
Magic 95.5.
Let love shine. Enjoy the classic lacy love in shiny and sparkling heart donuts. 3 boxes of mini hearts for only 149 pesos. You can also get 1 box of mini heart donuts for only 55 pesos. Add 109 for the Twin Cup with 2 of your favorite icy coolers. Promo runs February 1 to 15, 2020. Dunkin' Donuts. Basta na Bayan.
At award-winning na Giorno.
Lumaban ka naman para sa kalayaan ng bayan.
Ed Lingao, Patrick Paez, Lourdes de Vera, Jovi Francisco, Melvin Calderon at Manuel Mogato ang kasama niyo gabi-gabi sa mga nagbabaga.
Sino ang pinaka-antipatikong senador para sa iyo?
At makabuluhang diskusyon.
Extra na. Yeah, baby!
Makisali sa usapang tito at tita ng Wag Po Gabi-Gabi, 10:15 p.m. on 5.
Mami, tingnan mo! Ano nangyari dito? Hindi naman kayo mga pulis ah!
Diyos ko, para itong eksena sa isang horror movie.
Sobrang hindi ka na-protecta.
Kung pinatay man siya, yun ay dahil may ginawa siyang mali.
May nalalaman ba kayo?
Tutulungan kitang intindihin ng isang bagay bata. Hindi ka isang pulis!
Sigurado ka dyan?
Limon! Pasok mo sa loob!
Maghapon ka yata dito sa office. Time out ba sa paghihigante?
Palay na kasi pag-uusisa sa akin ni Agatha sa mga pinupuntahan ko.
Oo, tama yan. Para mamiss nyo naman ni Christina ang isa't isa. Oh, ano naman yung ngingiti-ngiti mo dyan?